to that. Good God, it's morning. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Hello. What was I doing? Oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting things in the places. That's what I'm doing.
Margaret is trying to get with it this morning.
Margaret's not used to having to be up this functional this early in the morning anymore. I mean, I say that like I was functional this early in the morning at my last job. So, which is absolutely not true because I did not function until at least 10:30. They just thought I did. It was all a lie. Anyways, good morning. How are you this morning? What are we up to today? Well, we know what we're up to today, but give me just a second. I'm just popping sprints into places. How are you this morning, my friend? I know it's been a hot minute since we've seen you.
I am stressed.
Yeah.
Also, I saw your tweet about YouTuber French.
Yes.
What was that about?
Let's just say that there's some. So, you know, sometimes people just kind of get the idea that they can talk to you a little bit more familiarly than they should.
Yes.
Like, especially when you're doing specific events and things.
Yep.
I'm friends with people who are mods for a lot of different readathons. And there are people that are constant issues. And this person was being an issue again.
Is it the one I don't like?
So, but basically they were being a little bit, I don't know that I would call it familiar, but they definitely were tagging people inappropriately. And we know that they're probably going to get butthurt for being called out about it. Like to the point that like people had to be like, hey, don't do this. But anyways, it was just one of those things where it was like, hey, maybe you shouldn't talk to these people this way because they are not your friends. But obviously I can't say much about it. Just, you know, people do.
Is it the one I don't like?
I've had people that do that. I've had somebody that like straight up, I blocked them. I don't know how they keep getting back onto my channel, but I blocked them. That was like, I love you. And I'm like, you don't know. I don't even know you. Like, they were being a little weird and spammy in comments for a bit. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. You know what? People are excited. And then they were like, I love you. And I was like, no, bye. You are not allowed on my channel anymore. So, anyways, okay. I should probably, there we go.
It takes a lot for me to be like, yeah, I love you too. Like, it takes a lot.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things that I think there are a lot of people out there that struggle with parasocial relationships and like knowing boundaries. Because here's the thing, like I know the YouTubers that I watch, with the exception of the ones that like I'm DMing and talking about quite often. Like there's stuff that I feel comfortable like saying to y'all that I would not say to someone else, or ways that I feel like I'm much more careful about how I word things and making sure that they are genuinely requests rather than like joking, hey, hi, what do you want me to like do this? And it was very much a like, hey, you should do this for me thing. And it was like, you are not a person to be making that request. Like, I'm not even in that situation, and I know you're not a person to be making that request. Oof. So, but like, it's just, I'm always aware that I know more about the people I see on the screen than they know about me. And so, yes, that does give me the feeling that like it's very easy to slip into this, like, I guess, proprietary kind of mindset where you're like, well, I know them, blah, blah, blah. Like, but I'm always aware that they're not friends. Like, I know them, but I don't know them. And they definitely don't know me.
Yes.
So, and like, it's a fine line because you don't want to like, I never want people to feel like they are unwelcome unless they're doing something like super weird. And that makes me super uncomfortable. But I also like boundaries, you know?
So. A lot of people don't don't have boundaries or like don't know boundaries.
Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of times, especially because you're online, it can feel like, well, I don't like boundaries are sometimes easier in person than they get blurred a lot more easily online, you know? So, like, I have people that I genuinely consider friends, but I would probably not say they are my friend online because I don't know if they they reciprocate that. You know? Like, I'm not going to claim that for them until we reach a certain level of like communication. So,
for me, it's like I got to be talking to you at least every day, if not like every other day.
yeah.
But if you're someone I only talk to like once a month, I don't know. Depends.
I was gonna say I have friends that I talk to less than every day, but like it's one of those things that like still I don't feel weird popping in their DMs, and like they'll be in my DM quite often as well. So like if I know personal stuff about you that other people tend to not know, that's kind of where I'm like, okay, maybe that's when I start going, okay, like we are friends.
Yes, exactly. For me, it's really if I can't send this person like memes or TikToks or things like that, that's where I'm like, I don't think we're friends. I think we're acquaintances, but we're definitely not friends because I can't be myself with you.
Yeah, unless I'm talking to my mother, in which case everyone I know online is my friend.
Yeah.
Because it's just too long to say, okay, so this person that I kind of know from TikTok, or this person I kind of know from Twitter, or this one person, my other Swift, like, anyways,
you just say my friend. Yeah.
There's different levels of friends. But typically that only applies to if you like, if you come for my friend, I'm a loyal bitch, and I'm going to have a beef with you.
We're fighting in the freaking law.
A lot of people that I feel that way for do not expect them to return that energy for, kind of thing. So, speaking of, we've got a couple of friends. Hello, Ro. Welcome. Hey, Ann, how are you this morning? What is everyone up to? We've probably talked long enough that like y'all have gotten past the ads and all of that good stuff. Should I post this on Twitter? I should probably post this on Twitter so people know. Anyways, what would you like real quick just to, because I know it's been a hot minute since we last saw you. Do you want to real quick plug your channel for everybody?
Hi, I'm Thor. I read books, Indigenous literature, romance.
Yeah.
Go watch my stuff.
Yeah. And you just did a really fun vlog that's that was what you read for National Poetry Month, which I had a very fun time. I've had a very fun time with that vlog. It was very nice.
I had a fun time making it because you can make videos on Canva. And I had so much fun figuring that out. But also with just a little bit stressed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like it did feel like it genuinely felt like I was hanging out with you, and I was like, maybe I need to buy a plane ticket to South Dakota. Since I'm doing all this traveling. Oh my God. We'll see. You know what? We'll see where my parents or my mom's family decides to do family reunion. Because, like, my mom wants me to go. I do not want to go. I will be one of potentially 2 liberals there.
Oh, no.
Maybe 3.
No.
In an election year? Is it an election year? Yeah. And like, I don't even know what my aunt's stand. I know my aunt hates Reagan with a passion. That's about as much as I know about her politics. So, if my brother goes, I may be like, hey, yeah, sure, I'll go. And then we may take a road trip. I may talk him into being like, hey, we should go somewhere not here.
Yeah. That's pretty valid.
If we're out that way-ish, within a decent amount of, I might be like, hey, we should go see some friends.
Only if Ben goes. Yeah, that's pretty valid.
Yeah, I just have to find a valid reason not to need to go if he doesn't, because he also potentially has a trip to Japan planned for that time of year.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
it's gonna be tricky anyways because I've got insurance. That's like we're gearing up for insurance season that month. So originally, she floated the idea of a cruise, and I was like, why would I want to be trapped on a boat with those people? Like with anyone in general, but like
I'm never going on a cruise. I've seen 911. I don't want to go on a cruise.
No, she asked me that. I'm not even kidding. She asked me that like literally the day after I'd been watching those episodes with Cal. That was the funniest part. Like, I'm already anti-cruise because I know there's like a whole bunch of viruses and things you get going on cruises, like stomach issues that you get, all of that kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to be on a cruise. Thank you. No.
I've seen the Titanic. I know what happens.
So that I just don't like. Like, I don't like cruise culture because it's gotten so big, and I know that it has such a terrible environmental impact. Like, maybe if these cruise ships were smaller, yada yada yada, but then they'd be more expensive. Anyways, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then we also, like, my family, I love them, but they're very jokey and poke fun at stuff, and I just that's exhausting.
Is it jokey, or are they really just bullies?
Closer to that second one, in my opinion. Closer to that second one.
Yeah.
So
when they're like, "Oh, you can't take a joke," I'm like, "No, I can't
like,
take
no,
a joke.
like,
I'm a bitch. I don't take jokes."
Like, if they think it's funny, they don't care if it hurts your feelings or if it frustrates you. And so that's, to me, that's not, like, I don't, like, I can do that environment for a couple of hours, but to be stuck in that environment for multiple days?
Nope. I'll almost be wishing for something to happen. Just get me out of here.
Yeah. So, plus my parents are planning on driving over there, and I do not want to be stuck. Like, I could think my parents were the best people in the world and have zero feelings about where they stand politically, or thoughts, and still would not want to spend however many days trapped in a car with those two people on a road trip.
Nope.
Like, it's fun to watch that for a little bit. But now I'm old enough that I end up getting in the middle of it somehow.
Yeah.
And being involved. So anyways.
You just can't contain yourself.
Yeah. My parents, I think they enjoy arguing with each other because they do it all the time. Especially on road trips. I'm not sure how these two ended up getting married, honestly, sometimes. They have zero things in common besides us.
Look at Anne's comment.
Yeah, eating breakfast and then going to read. Oh, my high school reunion is on a cruise. I don't drink, so spending a weekend with a bunch of trunks. No, thank you. Yeah, I think it could be, with the right people, I think it could be fun. These are not the right people.
You could never catch me entrapped with the people I went to high school with. I'd sleep with like two of them, and that's it. The rest of them, they could go overboard.
Yeah. So your family is your family. You can't choose them, but I prefer to be around them in small chunks. My cousin keeps trying to contact me on TikTok, and I'm like, bro, how did you even find me? Why are you here? Please.
See, all my family knows all of my socials, so it's like, if you want to lurk, you can lurk, but just know you might be offended with what comes out of my mouth.
I've soft blocked certain people. Like, they'll find me and I'll be like, no. Like, I don't block them outright because I don't want to have that conversation. But I'm just like, nope, I don't like the idea of you following me right now.
I'm like, watch at your own discretion.
Yeah.
If you get your fifis hurt, that's not on me, that's on you.
Well, there are certain discussions I'm just like, you're not worth having that debate with.
I literally had to do this last week because of the Christy Gnome thing. And my friend / like adopted brother jumped in my comments, and I'm like, why? Because he was trying to defend her, and I'm like, dude, why is it you only comment on this like politically adjacent things and not like stuff that's actually happening in my life?
Wait, who the fuck is Christy Gnome? Is that the lady that shot her dog?
She's the governor of South Dakota.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah. She just got
Here's the thing.
Okay, she just got into trouble for posting a TikTok in like boosting a Texas dentist place. Like, she went to Texas out of state to get her shit fixed, and she posted about it on TikTok, and she got in trouble for that. And then she got banned by 4 reservations in South Dakota. Yeah, the Oglala Nation, Rosebud, Standing Rock, and Cheyenne River tribe all banned her. And I think it was Rosebud or Oglala that asked for their flag back because the flags are displayed in the Capitol in Pierre, and that tribe was like, no, take our flag down. We want it back.
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, like, here's the thing. I know slightly about the dog situation. That's the most that I know about it. I understand, as someone who grew up with country relatives, I understand sometimes the best thing you can do is put an animal down, but we do not live in a society right now where that is hard in most cases to do humanely. And also, you don't do that because the dog is untrainable. That's just a rehome them situation.
It was a 14-month-old puppy.
Yeah, of course they're not listening. They're not even, their frontal lobe is not developed yet.
Exactly, but it's trainable.
Yeah.
Like, she could have
not trainable for what she wanted.
So many other channels. Because she could afford it.
Yeah.
It's different when you're on the country and, like, something happens to your dog and you don't have the money to go get it euthanized. That's your last, that's the last option.
Yeah.
The very last option. It's like,
well, what was it? There was a YouTuber, and it's sketchy, but she'd said, for example, that her dog had been hit by a car. And, she's not a good person. But there are situations where something like that happens, and, you cannot transport the animal, but you still need to get it. They still need to be put down. There are situations like that. I can understand sometimes it's terrible, but that's what's got to happen, because you can't, you will be putting the animal through more. I'm so sorry for everyone who's just telling you, you're putting them through more pain and suffering, and you've got to prioritize what's the least suffering for the animal. That's why we didn't, when Susie got cancer, when the vet, because she was, I think, 12, and my type of schnauzer, they usually live to about 15. So it was one of those things. Do we do a biopsy and chemo and put her through all of this suffering for maybe 3 more good years? Or do we just do the best we can to keep her comfortable until it's time? And that was we made the secondary decision. So, it's hard. Anyways, I cannot imagine putting a dog down for not being trainable, because that's a criminal. That is
and she shot a goat that was chasing the kids. So a puppy and a goat.
Girl, someone take away her guns.
It's South Dakota. Ain't nobody gonna take that shit away from her.
I know, but it's only a matter of time before it's a person.
Okay, we had Dick Cheney. we had Dick Cheney, and there was also another South Dakota governor that accidentally killed somebody with his motorcycle. So South Dakota is already steeped in drama.
Yeah. I mean, what state isn't at this point? We started as the drama. Speaking of people we have here, hey Eva, hi, it's Workies, but I'll have you on for company in the background. We have Nadine here. Nadim says, currently reading Verity by Colin Hoover. Aoife has also often thought the same of my own parents, too. About the thing in the car. Oh, man. Anne says, the people I went to high school with would think it would be funny to spike the drink of a non-drinker. Yeah, and then that's a crime. That's literally a crime. Good morning, Christina. Drink a coffee and hugging the like button. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, I know what you're reading, and I know what I'm reading because they're the same book. But do we want to tell the people what we're reading this morning?
We're reading this because I'm bad at keeping up with things. Margaret is bailing me out.
Word. Oh, it's got a little, there's a little icon that has headphones on it. Does that mean that I could listen to this rather than read it?
Probably.
Anyways. Good morning, Rachel. How are you? Hi. Aoife says, I am reading Funny Story by Emily Henry. It's a good time.
Ooh, good.
Exciting.
That's on my birthday list.
You may be the only person I know, Aoife, that is enjoying Funny Story.
Oh.
I haven't made any decisions about it yet. Haven't gotten there, but I eventually want to read it. But I know people who have definite problems with it. And I'm just like, okay.
I'm gonna read it anyway.
Yeah, do it. You should. Some things you can find out for yourself. I'm okay. Editing as usual. That feels spot on. I am very proud of myself because I started editing Friday's video last night.
Nice.
That's not normal. But it also is the vlog with the most vlog footage I've ever had in a vlog. So, Aoife says, my ears book is Anybody Out There by Marian Keyes. Christina, when I get to read, I will be reading The Shadow Rising, Wheel of Time Before. It's hard being the only one with taste. Like, I think most people's issues with it, like, primarily has to do with the third act breakup, but also, having not read it, I don't know, sometimes characters are flawed because people are flawed. You know what I mean? That's something that I've been kind of thinking about recently is that, like, sometimes the flaws are intentional and maybe they don't learn to get rid of those flaws. So, you know?
True.
Sometimes you have to choose what to deal with. So I don't know. And people are bad at communicating, which is why it always is funny to me when people are like, I can't stand miscommunication. I'm just like, okay, but people miscommunicate constantly.
Yeah, people are really bad at communicating.
We're not taught how to effectively communicate. We are taught to not effectively communicate. We are taught to not speak our minds or say things, you know? Like we're taught to keep our actual feelings tamped down so we don't offend anyone. So, like, what am I supposed
I'm
to do?
autistic, so I just say what I'm thinking, even if it hurts your feelings. And I'll be like, I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings. Sometimes I'm not sorry.
We had somebody in the chat that, like, we were literally just talking about situation. Like, it's something that's, like, weird. I'm like, well, this could be my thought process was, okay, this could either be someone who just is neurodivergent, and so when they read it, they, you know, we're missing context. They think they're saying something that we're reading more into it than they actually meant, or it's a situation where, like, English is their second language, and so maybe they misused these words, and so it came off a little more demanding than it actually was.
You know that? Okay. Have you ever seen Key and Peele, like the show?
I have seen some of their skits, yes.
Okay, well, there's a skit where they're texting back and forth, and they're getting the messages, like, crossed, and one takes it more seriously than the other. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel like that's me.
Well, like, when I'm texting my brother, he's so funny because he's like, if you put like, he gets really anxious if I put a hard stop, if I put a period at the end of a single word. I'm like, but that's grammar. Like, I'm just using grammar.
Well, that's very, like, declarative.
Yeah, he's like, I'm like, we were raised by the same woman. She taught us how to do sentences.
But isn't Ben a June Gemini?
No, he's a June Cancer.
See, there it is. A water sign gets all up in their feelings.
He does, and he also has the like savior complex because
He's
let
a
me
very
tell you,
sensitive boy.
the man, we love Kara. She's fantastic. He's had a few that like definitely were looking for someone that had a savior complex.
See, Kara can take care of herself all on her own.
Yeah. I haven't disliked any of his girlfriends at this point, except for specifically one of them. Listen, when you're waking up to your brother upset because his girlfriend texted him saying she's going to off herself.
See, that's when we're fighting in the parking lot. We're gonna get messy. I'm gonna rip this bitch's hair out. I don't give a fuck.
She was in California. There wasn't really much we could, I could do physically, but I did have to be like, hey, you need to call her school and you need to tell them they need to do a wellness check on her if she's texting you that. And she continually manipulated that. Like, anyways.
How do you just block the number at that point? Like, nope, we're done. We're not doing this. No, thank you. Bye.
He tried so hard to make it work because she was, I don't remember whether it was, I believe it was she was bipolar. He was trying so hard to make it work, but she just like was not in a place to be in a healthy relationship with anybody.
Nope.
So, like she was using that to manipulate him. I love that Key and Peele. I'll have to go find it then. I love that skit. The German says it to me all the time when he's had a busy day at work. I mean, I cannot like he knows now that like that's just how I text. I'm not sure how. Like this is something that started after the situation that I just talked about. But I can't say much because I'm one of those people that has to continually remind myself that if someone does not respond to me right away, it's not because they're mad at me.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I got that knee-jerk reaction, but
it means you hate me. Yeah.
As soon as you said June Cancer, the June Cancer myself, I can't. Now I'm back. Now I'm back. Okay. Oh, Rachel is a July Cancer. See you guys balance out our emotion. Anyways, yeah, I love him, but he is I mean, he's not the most sensitive of babies, but he is a bit sensitive. I say it with zero feelings. So, hello, Beth. How are you today? How are we doing? My internet be interneting right now. Sorry.
It's totally okay.
It happens. All right, shall we go in and do a sprint, do you think?
That sounds great.
I know. Hold on. Let me get this thing full screened. Because naturally, I did not do this before. There we go. All right. So let's go for 45 minutes. I think that's a good amount of time to read. And we'll come back. And when we're done, or when we come back, I'm sure we'll have some stuff to say about Arusha.
Yes.
I think this is just how we're doing the Riordan Squared Book Club. Is we're just going to do sprints where we talk about it.
Pretty much, yeah. Because otherwise, I am not good at keeping myself accountable.
Yeah, no,
really.
You and me both. I'm going to be reading Cherished by Tracy Wolff. Very nice. I've been meaning to check out that series. The covers, at least, make me want to check it out. So, all right. I will see y'all in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Welcome back. Well, I'll ask you this. How did you do?
What?
Said, how did everybody do for that spring? Let me know in the comments. I got some red. I got distracted because everyone and their mother was like, hey, we should send you that skit from Key and Peele. You sent it to me. Aoife sent it to me. So, of course, I had to watch that first. But anyways, how did you do? I got 22 pages right out of that because I got a little distracted.
I got 34 pages, and I also got distracted. But the reason why I'm not like on chapter 5 is because I'm looking at we're getting the prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to like analyze that text.
Nice.
But I'm just glad we're making progress.
Yeah. True facts. I always forget how much fun these are.
Me too. That's
right?
my issue.
Like, I enjoy these. I know, like, the ending of this one was not my favorite ending of the series, but I know it has a point to it, and we're gonna go places with the next book when we get there. But like the beginnings are always fun and ridiculous, and I love how we keep bringing up the Spider-Man pajamas.
Also, did you love what I did to it? Because Soren bit into it, I had to cut it.
Oh no!
So all of the pages are like weirdly diagonal.
That's funny. That's funny. I love it. Fun fact. Apparently I own this as an audiobook. I didn't realize that. Like, I was trying to get the audiobook yesterday and I was like, oh, all of these are placehold. But apparently there was the audiobook. I already got it.
Oh, well, good.
It happens. It's cool. And then I'm also reading alongside with my Kindle. I'll probably step away and like do stuff later, but for now I was like, I'm just gonna focus on this for now.
Yeah, same. But I also started writing notes as one.
Yeah. That's so I should get better at writing notes.
Great.
I'm terrible at writing down notes for books, just like awful at it.
Well, I had to switch up my notebook style because before it was like I had a little notebook, but I wasn't writing in it at all. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go back to like regular notebook.
My problem is I always feel like I have nothing to write. I either have nothing to write down or I have like an entire essay to write down. So I never know how much to give to each book. Like, because is this going to be I have zero thoughts about it book? Or is this going to be one where I'm like every other line, I'm like, this is a thought. I never know. And I'm always reading more than one book at a time. Yeah, it's a conundrum.
You know what you could do? You could actually make a binder with loose leaf pages, so that way you have thoughts.
Smart fucking idea. Why haven't I thought of that before?
I don't know.
The one thing about loose leaf though is it is harder to like transport everything sometimes. So that's the only downside. But maybe I'll do a happy planner and that's where I'll keep all my notes. Just a happy planner full of lined paper.
I mean, I always used to keep around like a long time ago. I always used to just keep the piece of loose leaf paper folded up with a pen inside my book.
Apparently, I knew I still had this, but apparently my promise ring has been living in my desk because I was like, oh yeah, I have all these little discs that I got that I ended up never using for a disc planner. Weird thing to find in your desk drawer. But anyways,
A promise ring, like for your virginity,
let's see. Hold on.
or is that like religion?
Yes, a promise ring is in a silver ring that has true love waits engraved on it. Rachel is so sad she's muted right now because she would be all over this. So I had one of those once upon. I mean, I guess I still have it, but I used to wear it like religiously.
Like a promise ring to God?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Come on, you know my background. You know who I
know,
am.
but I don't know how far that goes, you know?
I mean, the first
promise ring to God. Okay.
The first 25 years of my life. The funny thing is I bought that as a full adult. It wasn't something my parents gave me. I bought that as a full adult.
See, look, Anna's with it. She uses a loose leaf paper notebook.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, I'll have to figure something out because that's a smart idea. And then maybe I do that and then I can transfer it to something else later if I want to have it in like, because I do that all the time. Anyways. Thank you for being kind. I've been made to feel like I was reading the wrong books at certain times. Listen, there are very few times that I will tell someone that they are reading the wrong book. When they are reading a book that I know that they will not like, or when they are reading a book that is super duper 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 problematic. Like there are times I'll be like, "Are you sure you want to put?" Like I've had times where I've messaged people, like friends, and been like, "Hey, just so you know, you may like knowing where you stand on things. You may not want to be featuring this book on your channel."
Yeah, I have done that as well to like a couple people that I was in like the Indigenous class with. I was like, but you know what? You do what you gotta do. Like, if that helps you read, okay. But just so you know.
Like, a lot of the time, it's just like it's not even that the book. I don't know. Like, it's not even necessarily the book is bad. Like, I don't know how to quantify it because it's not so much as. But you need to be aware of the author's biases and how that affects their story and the storytelling that they are doing when they're talking about the book. Like, it's not like people's political beliefs affect the art that they're making. And that doesn't mean that that's art is something that should not be in circulation. It is something that you should be discussing and talking about.
Yes.
You know? Like, and so often I see people being like, hey, can you please, like, they're not even saying don't read the book. They're just like, please, if you're going to talk about this, address this.
Yeah.
It's like, anyways, I try to be conscious of like things. Like, for example, I love the Percy Jackson series. I love it. It's fantastic. Rick Riordan has, as most of society does, has a problem with viewing fatness as evil. He does.
Yeah.
So, like, I thought maybe he'd gotten a little bit better because, like, Lightning Thief was written in that period of time where it was like fat phobia was just kind of a genre expectation of middle grade. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
then you read more and you're like, oh no.
And then it seemed to have gotten better in the Heroes of Olympus series, but then I'm reading Trials, or when I started reading Trials of Apollo, I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
Oh no. Yeah.
So, anyways, Beth listened to 8% of Cherish. Very nice. Good for you.
I don't know what that is, but that's great. Love that for you.
I believe that was the Tracy Wolf book. Like, they're very interesting. Like, I don't know if they're great cover design, but they're very interesting covers because they're just like a flat color and then they've got something in the middle. Like, very.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm seeing it now. I have a thing on Goodreads. Love the dedication to that. That's 592 pages in hardcover. I could never. Damn.
Yeah, you know, sometimes the thing was, well, here's the thing is a lot of the time it's not even the book is that long. It's the paper they use and its font size. And also uses a loose paper notebook. I also take it to therapy. Yeah, I have no problem if you tell me not to read a book. Don't belittle. Listen, I never belittle readers. I will belittle authors sometimes. If I have a beef with the author, I will belittle them.
I will only belittle you if I don't like you.
You know, you guys know how I feel about, I have a constant beef, not necessarily with Robin Hobb herself, but with a lot of Robin Hobb stands. And the way they treat her like she is the next coming of fantasy god. Like, if you have any negative opinions about Robin Hobb, you're not valid. So, anyways.
I don't know.
She is a very popular fantasy writer who started writing in the 90s, I believe. Who I think she writes good stuff.
Is that the series that all of y'all like freaked out about like last year sometime?
I don't know if freaked out about is the correct word. It's the author I've had a consistent beef with since I've read her most recent book. Since I read the most recent, she has a specific series, which is the Live Ship Traders series, which I just have a specific beef with.
Yes.
How she handled one of the characters' storylines, because number one, I think it betrays the promise of the premise that we got in the first book. And it felt kind of like she wrote herself into a corner and didn't put any effort into making the ending that she was getting be something the audience was rooting for as well, or at least I would like she got me there with other characters, but she did not get me to the end game with this one character. And Kara over at Wild Book Garden agrees with me on this one, that while she writes very interesting and good books, I don't think both of us are yeah, but the way, at least in the books that I have read, the way she writes women, if a male author did this, people would be memeing him, So the series is a commitment. I love the nostalgia of it. That's how I feel about Colleen Hoover and Brandon Sanderson. See, I don't know about Colleen Hoover. Love Brandon Sanderson at least. I feel like he can write. I haven't read a book by him that filled me with as much rage as Ship of Destiny did. He can at least get me from point A to point B, so that when we get, and this includes him having a series where he kills off not just the love interest, but the main character, which, if you do not know me, is usually an automatic 1 star.
It's been so long since I've read an actual fantasy book that I couldn't tell you where my, I don't know.
I will never come at you, because it is my opinion that what is a good book is subjective, almost entirely.
We all know I like trash.
Yeah. Even down to what good grammar and good writing are, I feel are subjective, because you will have
so long as you can analyze the text and actually have a discussion about it.
Yeah. You will have people that will think that really quick, to the point language is the best way to write a book, and you will have people that are no, it needs to be as descriptive as possible, blah blah blah. I need you to immerse me in the world for it to be a good book. Even our grammar rules were decided by people, were rules that were decided by people to make communication more effective. They are all entirely arbitrary. So we just think what our idea of good grammar is that idea, because that's what we were raised with.
Yeah, I need to understand the governance of that world.
Yeah.
That's why I think I like the Hunger Games so much, because it was well, we believe all of this, but fuck all of that. And I was okay.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, shall we do another sprint and get some more of this book read?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead, pop that up there. All right, we will go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Welcome back, everybody. I think I done messed up something because I'm pretty sure that we just jumped back to stuff that I have already read. So I gotta see if there's a way for me to figure this out. Because I know I got through chapter 4 because I got all the way through the prophecy. But suddenly I am back before the prophecy.
Huh.
Weird. It happened.
Maybe you definitely sounds like you pushed the wrong button.
Yep, definitely pushed the wrong button. How did you do? Where'd you get to?
I am on page 60.
Yeah.
Well, only 310 pages to go.
Yay! How did everyone else do, by the way? Let us know in the comments. Where is it? Because I feel like
another half a pages of notes written down as well.
Oh, wow.
Just so I can remember.
What do you tend to take notes on?
Either mostly for when it comes to like mythology or any kind of like references to past books or like any kind of history, mythology, lore, stuff like that, or just like my general reactions about certain things. I also had to look up the twins. They use Guyanese Creole, and because like my brain forgets that not all of the Pandava sisters are like Hindi or like
Guyana,
that they're not all the same ethnicity.
Yeah, Guyana also has a very large Indian population because of immigration and because of like the British Empire and things like that. I actually know that one because I watched a couple seasons of Indian Matchmaker. And one of the girls on there, she is Guyanese and Indian because she grew up, like her family immigrated there. And she grew up there, but then they came to Texas or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, because then Minnie is like half Filipino.
Yep.
And my brain had to I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Beep, you know. So I had to look up like Guyanese Creole, and I was like, oh, okay. I understand now. I gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like this book. It's very good. I just wish I knew where I stopped now. I think I was on chapter 6 or something. But apparently, yeah. I mean, it's not the biggest deal because I've read this book before. So if I have to skip some, I can. I think what we'll say is I made it to chapter 6. I know I at least made it to the comment about Aiden's satchel, which was very funny.
That he's wifey.
Yeah. That's such a boy thing to say, too. To be like, it's a satchel, not a purse.
Yeah.
Okay, sweetie. Sure.
Sure, bud.
Anyways, okay. Yeah, I love that they joke about him being a grandma.
Right? He was like, that was one time.
Like, bro, just wait till you're an adult. That'll be every time. So.
He'll be one of those people where it's like, oh, do you know where Aiden is? He's probably sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something like that.
Yep.
Okay, I know. Let's see. Oh, Beth, from the last conversation we were having, is mine determines if you don't have good world building, you better have great characters and vice versa. Yeah, I mean, you can have different books have different focuses, and so in some books, like plot and character might be the biggest the most important thing to the story. And in some books, you need that world building to be able to sell the story. So it really is. Ellie says, "Is Dead Good as Dead a good book?" I have no idea because I have never read that book. I apologize, but I have not. I have not read that. So okay. How about? I know you have to leave by 1, so why don't we do another real quick short sprint? Like maybe you think 30 minutes would be good, and then we'll have things wrapped up.
Yes.
Okay.
That
do you
sounds
need to leave
great.
by 1, or do you need to leave before 1? Or do you?
I think before 1 because I have pizza in the fridge that I gotta heat up.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Well, we will go ahead. We'll get that. I would help if I put the timer back up for y'all. There we go. All right, we're going. I'm going to go figure out where I was, but we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okie dokie. How did let us know in the comments how you did with that sprint. I know we're gonna be heading out here very soon, but let me know. How did it go for you, my friend?
I am on page 86. So I literally died because another character from last book showed up and I was dying.
That's funny. I got to page 77.
We're going on like our third page notes.
I love that. I love that for you. I want to be that person someday. Eventually.
Well, every time my book opens, it opens like page 200, and then I have to tell myself, no, you're like for way further back than that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, apparently I've synced my Kindle and my audiobook, and that's what threw me off. But it's been interesting reading through this at this rate. I know I'm having a good time with it. It's a good, like, Roshni Chokshi knows how to write a good book.
She really does. I also really love the cultural, the pop culture references.
Yes. And I think those work better in middle grade typically than they do in some other fiction a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're appealing to kids. So, anyway.
I'm a full-grown adult woman, but either way, it still works out for me. I love it.
It's funny. I get the argument against them, and there is such a thing as too many pop culture references. However, I always think they're fun when it's something that I personally like. You know?
Because these are just like lightly sprinkled in there.
Like, I think it's fun to mention the Hunger Games. Like, I know it dates it, but it also kind of makes you, like, look at the time that the thing was written in. You know?
Well, and it's like a timeless book, too.
So, yeah. So it's just one of those things that's like, you know, maybe we won't know what this means in 100 years, but there's a lot of stuff we don't know what it meant 100 years ago. So
I just love when a smaller deity is just like, dude, I am so hyped for war. I was like, no.
That was funny. Calm down, bro. Okay, so you are linked in the description, obviously. Y'all might need to refresh. I don't know why I didn't do that. I knew you were going to be here.
It's okay.
But do you have anything that you want to plug, anything that's come out recently that you want people to check out, or something that people can look forward to?
Watch the vlog that I posted. I also am posting a new video on Friday, so
yay!
Go watch stuff.
We love it. I will also have a video coming out on Friday. I don't know that it will appeal to most of the people on my channel, but it's one that I wanted to make and do, and have, because it's my Taylor trip from last year. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's relevant.
So I wanted to. You know, there's some vlogs that I just post because the memories are important to me. And if
you
I'm
always
going
have
to
like
get
a backlog of content too, so like,
yeah,
I applaud you for that.
Yeah. So I should have edited this so much longer ago, but like the sheer amount of B-roll footage just is intimidating. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
100%. This was the first time. This last vlog was the first time that I really, really started using my phone to record things, and my phone was like, "Hey, you're getting to that point where like you only have this much time left," and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, mine's trying to yell at me for uploading stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, listen, if you let me upload this, I can get it off of you. Like, it can go." Like, you don't have to, but I need you to upload it. I need you to do that for me.
Exactly.
So I'm going to probably end up restarting it. Speaking of, let's just do that now. Nope. So that I can just like have that taken care of. But Thank you so much for joining me. I will have a video, like I said, on Friday, and then I'll be here on Saturday, probably in the afternoon Saturday, because I think Saturdays I've been pushing those later for the sprints. But I will see everyone later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye.